It's Wednesday, so let's take a look at Sofi. Price action's a bit flat. Obviously, we're going into earnings here, so I don't expect too many big moves. Got good support below here. We've got the bull market band widening, and it's turning bullish here as well, which is good. The pattern overall here makes me think it's getting a bit more bullish. We just need some momentum really from earnings. I am expecting a double beat here, but obviously financials are still pretty hated, especially for the fintechs and stuff like that, like PayPal. Looking at the resistance levels, this one's been pretty good, pretty strong historically, 789, and that is above this volume shelf here. If we get out of there, next area will be probably this blue line and this fib, which probably would give an earnings result of about 10% if we did pop to the bullish side. A breakdown below, like we mentioned earlier, would be this bull market support band and then this historic resistance. Price has been chopping around in this area for a while. This company is largely affected by macro, given the risk to credit, and they're not expanding their loan book and stuff. We'll talk more about that when it comes to earnings, and I'll post the content on my website at www.thegraftytrader.com. But for now, it's wait and see. I don't expect any large moves in price until then. RSI is getting pretty neutral. We did have a golden cross again. That's bullish, and flows kind of neutral on the weekly. We did have these golden bar signals, which did catch this bottom here, which was nice to see. But like I said, it does look like things are reversing here. If we zoom out a bit, we have broken out of here. So even if we did have a pullback, this isn't a scary area. I'm not concerned. As long as we stay above this 630 kind of range, I'm happy. And if we take a quick look at the weekly, sorry, I have to adjust all my charts again because it doesn't let me resize stuff. Again, we had this rather large wick. We talked about this on our weekly wrap up that it was a bit of a concern, but prices held pretty well here. So this just makes me feel like this volume shelf is holding us up, and I don't think there'll be any large moves until earnings. We did have the def cross, but there's been hardly any separation in the moving averages here, so I'm not too concerned about that. And we have had a golden bar signal on flow, and it's returned back to incoming flows with a neutral RSI. So if earnings is good and the market's happy with it, we could see a nice launch on this one, which I'm quite excited about. Mostly I want to get stuck into the numbers. I want to see what the plans are with expanding the loan book. They have talked a little bit on a couple of interviews about their plans to start rolling out new products, and we have seen a little bit of that. But I would like to see more and hear more confirmation of that. Taking a look at the open options interest, sentiment's pretty bullish. Not overly so. There's not a whole lot of volume here. It does get us approx to that range. Obviously, these will be resistance levels as people tend to take profits when it comes to their strike prices, so they do make good resistance levels. So unless we get a really good pop over there, I don't expect us to break any higher than these levels this week. But if we take a look next week for when earnings is, I think earnings on this one are the 30th of July. That's Tuesday, I believe. So it would be on this. Quite a large amount of people expecting this to drop. Not sure why. Maybe they're thinking there's really bad news regarding the loan book, but we'll see. As far as I'm concerned or aware of, Anthony Noto did an interview recently and he said everything was good and we're within parameters, and I've previously not heard them lying, so not sure. But yeah, we'll see.